Alright, hello, this is Hector Acuna. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here in my studio. I just posted a video yesterday, August 25th, and today I was like, I might as well just keep filming a few more videos while I have the time. September and October are going to be really busy months for me. I'm going to be traveling for some plein air festivals. I'll be going to a couple weddings, I think 3 weddings actually between both those months. So I'll just be really busy, and I figured I might as well just make some content now and talk about a couple things that are happening in my studio, and then update you maybe in October or later on in the fall. So for today's video, I want to talk about a couple paintings that are recently finished or are still in progress. Most of them I think are still in progress, and just talk about what I like about them, things that are happening, and give you a nice in-depth view of what I'm working on. So let's start things off with the painting I have here on the easel. This painting I started, let's change the settings here. This painting I started a while ago, probably back in April, if I had to guess, maybe March. And it's based on a drawing that I made digitally on my iPad. And I just started, working it onto this 11 by 14 inch panel. And yeah, basically it ends up featuring this. It's kind of hard to tell with the lighting I have right now. This is a little bit better. So it features this shape that I've titled Neighbor. It's this like pie wheel cylinder shape form that I often morph with human features, human forms. So you can see there's a little nose poking out right here. And I just recently covered the entire painting with a glaze of burnt umber, so now it has this really dark and kind of mysterious atmosphere that I really like a lot. I think it needed this even hue over the entire painting. Before, the sky was a really strong purple. I wonder if we can reveal some of that. You can kind of see some bluish tones up here under the brown. This layer is still a little bit wet from the burnt umber, but like I said, I'm really happy with this new color that it's working with. It has this very antiquated feel, like it's this really old image. I like that clash of, time, feeling of time. Like the painting is really old, but some of the forms are more alien, kind of sci-fi, futuristic, in my opinion. And then we have this like really smooth and refined feature of the human figure. So we have this really clearly defined arm that's drooping out of this kind of amalgamation of human legs that all feed into this singular form. So there's these 3 legs that are kind of fighting with each other a little bit down at the bottom. But I like that this is sort of a shell for the figure that's inside, sitting inside, and the hand has kind of a reddish tone to it. I'll lighten things back up here for us. But yeah, there's a really dark red hand over here, and the idea is that this neighbor form, basically the lines that make up its form match up with the lines of this shell down here. So it's sort of like this cap that is popped off, or that is floating off away from the rest of the figure. And we're sort of seeing this human that was inside of this form coming out and reaching out into the space, into this landscape that is not particular to any one place, but I want it to still feel realistic. So it has a ways to go. There's still some things I have to work on here, but like I said, this one started back in maybe March or early April, and I had to put it away for most of the summer, and now I'm getting a chance to work on it again. But yeah, let's see, I'll grab another one here. Okay, here are two other ones. So real quick, I just want to show you this smaller painting that I finished way back in the spring, probably in March or February of 2021. And if you're unfamiliar with this neighbor character, this is probably one of the clearest renditions of the idea. And this painting was used to make stickers. So if you're unfamiliar with some of my products in my shop, I do sell these really high quality stickers. They're like a vinyl matte surface sticker, so the color is really rich on these as well. And the painting is called Snake Noises, for obvious reasons. But yeah, this is, again, this is the clearest version of the idea that I have painted anywhere, drawn anywhere. And the initial shape and concept was something that I drew up last year in the summer of 2020, and I've just been refining it over the last year. But anyways, this shape and this form has reappeared throughout other works, including this painting. This painting I started kind of around the same time as the last one that I just talked about, probably in March. And also this one was an idea that I visualized in a digital sketch on my iPad, and at the time all I had sketched out was the main mass and form. I knew that this was going to be an object. I wanted it to feel volumetric. It's a little difficult to see some of the details because I recently put this green, limeish green chartreuse kind of color over most of the painting, and that added a lot more depth and atmosphere in the painting that I really like, but I lost some of the clarity that it had prior. There used to be a little knob up on the top right, kind of like a keyhole piece of hardware that a leash or piece of rope dangled from, making this feel even more like some sort of utilitarian object. And that was really what I was going for in this painting initially, was to create this object that looked like it was used for some sort of purpose, maybe like a speaker, with these little slits that it had in the top, and just to be mysterious. I didn't want it to seem too familiar in any way. I wanted all of the familiarity to come from the human form, so this ear that sits on the surface, or the kind of belly form at the bottom. But everything else I have here is just, you know, kind of surreal and non-specific, and that kind of realm in my work is something I'm really fascinated with. I'm curious what other people bring to the interpretation when looking at some of these paintings. You know, obviously I want them to remain in the figurative realm. I want them to be tied and connected to the human experience. But beyond that, they're pretty open-ended in terms of what they're getting at, in my opinion. But yeah, this is another one that I'm still working on. I really like the addition of the green, like I said. I also like this red, kind of misty, you know, really hot area in the painting. Something I've been working on over the last couple years in my paintings is more of an attention to temperature and obviously saturation, and how color can really push the mood of the subject. So with this one, I'm really happy with what's happening. But this is, I think this is 9 by 12 inches, and probably is like 80% done. It really just depends on my mood. Maybe in a week I'll decide that it needs a really specific object or symbol or text or something to push the painting in more of a specific kind of zone. But for right now, I'm really happy with where it's sitting, and I could see myself, you know, calling it done pretty soon. So we'll see. But yeah, this is another one that's in progress. Let's check out one more for today. Okay, it seems like we're going down, we're shrinking in size here. This painting I started probably a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. It was a few weeks before Megan and I got married, so early July, late June. I started it here in Cedarburg, and this is probably 6 inches by, or maybe 7 inches by 9 or 7 by 10, somewhere around there. And this is not currently a version of the neighbor character. This is a little bit more open-ended. It's a obviously still very surreal form, non-specific to any kind of body part, but I wanted it to feel very corporal, but I wanted it to feel very human. So I mean, obviously there's a eye that's probably helping create that kind of definition right now, but everything else is a little just more, you know, general in terms of its form. It's kind of this random shape that has skin-like textures on the surface, and I'm building up the volume. You can kind of see how the painting on the bottom half has this red undertone. That was pretty recent, and some of these lighter peachy colors are also recent in this painting. I just worked on this one 2 days ago in the studio here, and you can kind of see actually some of the purple colors here on the easel. When I popped in the sky and background, which I'm not sure if I really like how vivid this painting is right now. Like I've been saying, color is something that I've been thinking about a lot while I'm working, and something I'm playing around a lot with. I don't know if that's because of the plein air stuff that I've been doing, that I want to, you know, get more into how color can create a mood or a certain kind of time zone even, or timeline in the work. But whenever I work on these really neon, heavily saturated colors, you know, into my paintings, they feel less and less connected to my life personally. I think it's hard. I live in a world that's a lot more neutral and earthy, I would say, if that makes sense. So whenever I make paintings that are really rich in color like this, it doesn't feel like they're about something that's happening here in Wisconsin. So I don't know if that's something I will choose to address as I continue to work on this piece or not, but I definitely foresee some hair textures coming in the future. Let's get like a nice close-up here. But yeah, there's a chance that I'll probably pop in some textures of hair, other like skin variations, maybe moles, freckles, scars, tattoos, things like that, just to really push the idea that this is a human subject that the viewer is looking at. And then I'll probably end up addressing the landscape in some way. I think it needs another object, or, you know, sort of just specific form to round out the painting. I think it's a little too, you know, it's relying too heavily on one subject, and I'd like to push, you know, what people might be able to associate when looking at the painting. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this kind of impromptu studio visit here. Thank you for watching, and for, you know, again, supporting my channel, supporting my artwork. I hope that you found these paintings to be interesting. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you want to know more about my work, about the surreal paintings that I like to make in my studio. Otherwise, visit my website at acuniaarts.com. There you'll find a lot more of my portfolio, some information about my paintings. There's a ton of stuff on there that you can peruse. Also, if you're not signed up for my newsletter, please do so. I try to send out a monthly newsletter. The last couple of months have been pretty busy, so I have to get back on track with those. But in each of them, I also do a giveaway. And I'll do a sketch or some sort of small like sticker or something, just for fun, to one subscriber. You know, like I said, every month. I might do them every 2 or 3 months now that the fall is going to be pretty busy too. But make sure that you're signed up for that. Just before I wrap up this video, I just want to mention that on Friday, August 27th, which is actually tomorrow, I am going to be listing 6 or 7 new paintings in my shop. These are recently finished from plein air festivals or studio paintings. I also offer monthly payment plans, and if you decide to pick up one of these paintings, they will ship anywhere in the US for free. Take a look at the stickers that I talked about today. Hopefully you'll find something that you like. And thanks again for watching this video. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.